I don't know who needs to hear this right now. Something in me felt called to speak gently to you. There are moments when life becomes quiet in a strange way. Not peaceful, just silent. The kind of silence where you're still moving, still doing what's required, still showing up. But your heart feels tired underneath it all. You may not even have words for it. You just know that something inside you has been longing for rest, for meaning, for reassurance that you're not walking this path alone. If you've been feeling pulled in too many directions by expectations, responsibilities, unanswered prayers, or worries you don't talk about, this message is for you. Not to correct you, not to pressure you, just to sit with you for a while. Devoting your heart to God is not about becoming someone else. It's not about suddenly having perfect faith or unshakable peace. It's about allowing your heart to soften again and choosing where it rests. Many people think devotion is loud, but true devotion is quiet. It happens in moments no one sees, late at night, early in the morning, or in the middle of ordinary days, when your strength feels thin. You don't have to feel spiritually strong to be devoted. You just have to be honest. God does not wait for you to arrive polished and confident. He meets you in uncertainty. He meets you in weariness. He meets you exactly where you are. If your heart has been scattered, given to worry, to fear, to people who needed too much from you, this is an invitation to gently gather it again. Not by force, not by guilt, but by trust. Let this be a space where you don't have to perform, a space where your heart can breathe, a space where devotion feels less like pressure and more like coming home. Stay here with me. There's nothing you need to prove. To devote your heart to God is not the same as devoting your time, your energy, or your effort. It's deeper than habits. It's quieter than routine. Your heart is the place where your worries live, where your hopes hide, where fear whispers and faith learns to grow. When your heart is divided, pulled between trust and fear, peace and anxiety, it becomes exhausted, not because you are weak, but because it was never meant to carry everything alone. Devotion begins when you notice where your heart goes first in moments of stress. Does it run to worry, to overthinking, to self-blame, or does it slowly learn to rest in God? This doesn't happen overnight. Devotion is not a switch, it's a relationship. You can believe in God and still struggle to trust Him fully. That does not make you distant. It makes you human. A devoted heart does not deny pain. It brings pain into God's presence. Instead of asking yourself, am I doing enough for God? Try asking, is my heart learning to rest with Him? Even a small moment of surrender, one honest breath, one quiet prayer, one pause in the middle of chaos is devotion. God is not measuring you. He is meeting you. If your heart feels heavy, it's not because you've failed spiritually. It's because you've been carrying too much emotionally. You've been strong for too long, understanding when others weren't, patient when you were tired, quiet when you wanted to speak. A heart like that doesn't need judgment. It needs rest. God never asked you to be everything for everyone. He never asked you to hold tomorrow in your hands. He never asked you to figure life out alone. When you devote your heart to God, you slowly release the weight of control. You stop trying to manage outcomes that were never yours to manage. A tired heart doesn't need more effort. It needs reassurance. God is not disappointed in you for feeling worn down. He sees your effort. He sees your endurance, and He offers you rest, not correction. Let your heart exhale. You are allowed to need God. There is a quiet misunderstanding many people carry in their hearts, that devotion to God is something you earn once you become better, stronger, more disciplined, or more consistent. So they wait. They wait to feel worthy. They wait to feel certain. They wait to feel spiritually ready. And in that waiting, their hearts grow heavier. But devotion was never meant to begin with perfection. It begins with honesty. You don't have to feel close to God every day to be devoted. There will be days when faith feels natural, and days when it feels distant. Days when prayer flows easily, and days when words feel empty. None of that disqualifies you. A devoted heart is not one that never struggles. It is one that chooses not to turn away when struggle arrives. God does not ask you to hide your doubts before coming to Him. He does not demand clarity before offering closeness. He meets you exactly where you are, not where you think you should be. Sometimes devotion looks like confidence. Other times it looks like staying quietly, imperfectly, when everything in you feels unsure. A devoted heart says, I don't understand what you're doing, but I'm still here. It says, I don't have answers, but I'm not walking away. It says, I'm tired, but I trust you enough to bring my tiredness to you. Perfection creates distance. Honesty creates connection. You don't need flawless faith. You need a willing heart. A heart that allows itself to be seen. A heart that doesn't pretend. A heart that doesn't measure its worth by how well it performs. God is not intimidated by your inconsistency. He sees the direction of your heart, not the speed of your progress. Devotion grows quietly, over time, through small moments of return, through choosing God again after doubt, through turning back after wandering, through remaining open even when answers don't come. And that kind of devotion, imperfect, sincere, human, is deeply precious. There are burdens your heart was never designed to carry alone. Some of them came slowly, layer by layer, until you didn't even notice how heavy they became. Others arrived suddenly without warning, and stayed longer than you expected. Fear about the future, regret about the past, the quiet pressure to be strong for everyone else, the constant need to hold things together. Over time, these weights settle into the heart, and even when you keep going, even when you appear fine, something inside you feels tired in a way rest alone cannot fix. Devotion invites you to stop carrying what was never yours to hold. Letting God hold your worries does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to control outcomes you were never meant to control. It means you recognize the limits of your strength and trust that God's strength begins where yours ends. This kind of surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. A devoted heart does not say, I can handle everything. It says, I don't have to. God does not take what you give Him to diminish you. He takes it to protect you, to steady you, to give your heart room to breathe again. When you allow God to hold what you cannot, your heart begins to soften. It no longer braces itself for impact. It no longer lives in constant anticipation of the next problem. It learns slowly to rest. That rest does not come from answers. It comes from trust. You may still face uncertainty. You may still walk through difficulty. But you will not walk through it alone. A devoted heart knows this, not as a theory, but as a quiet assurance that grows stronger with time. You are not falling behind. You are not failing. You are learning how to release what was never meant to live in your heart forever. And God is gentle with that process. This is not a moment for pressure. It is not a moment for promises or dramatic change. It is simply an invitation to pause, just for a moment, and notice where your heart is running. To notice what it reaches for first when things feel uncertain. To notice how often it carries weight in silence. Tonight, you don't need to fix your life. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need to begin with one quiet choice. Before your heart rushes toward worry, let it pause. Before fear fills the space, allow God to enter it. Before exhaustion convinces you that you must do everything alone, let yourself rest in trust. Devote your heart not through effort, but through presence. Through returning again and again, gently, honestly, without shame. If these words met you where you are, allow yourself to stay connected to this space. not out of obligation, but because your heart deserves reminders of peace. Return when things feel heavy. Return when you need reassurance. Return when you feel unseen. There is no expectation here, only companionship. Your journey with God is not a performance. It is a relationship, one that grows through patience, kindness, and grace toward yourself. You are allowed to take this slowly. You are allowed to need support. You are allowed to rest along the way. Your heart is not a problem to be solved. It is something precious to be cared for. And as you continue forward, one quiet step at a time, remember this: you are seen, you are held, and your heart is safe with God. Stay gentle with yourself. You are doing more right than you realize.